That's a coconut. That's a coconut. That's my head. My head is as hard as a coconut. Welcome, dear friends, to Jimbaran. Oh, if you can see, there's an aeroplane flying right in the middle of the sky there now, right now. Can you see it? Taking off. Say goodbye to everybody that's been here. All going home now, back to work, back to slavement, back to slavery. There you go, you've had your 2 weeks holiday, now get back to slavery, humanity. Because that's why we're here. Yeah, we're the only creatures on the planet that has to work to eat and work to have time off or a holiday. No other creature on this planet does that. Insane when you think about it, but that's the reality we've created. By design, of course, by your enslavers. And you could probably point the finger at me. Well, you have people working for you, Mark. Yeah, I'm not saying that it's something that I don't believe in, but there is definitely a difference between the enslavers that, you know, began by taking humans and making them, you know, pick the cotton and put them in chains, and somebody wanting to come and work for your company because they believe in what you do, and then when they work for you they realize that they're not actually working because they love what they do. How many people actually can hold their hand up now with all honesty and say that you love what you do at work? And if you do, then you don't work. You understand what I mean by that. You don't work. You probably want to see the sea more than myself, right? But it's nice to be able to look at my... this sounds awful. It's not egoistic. Honestly, it's not. But because I'm looking at myself, it's easier for me to talk to you guys. It's like if somebody came along with a big camera and started saying talk. I'd just freeze. But because I've got so used to the camera and my face on the camera as I speak to you, it's like a comfort. I don't know, it just feels like this is how it should be. I've got used to it. So yeah, any of you who work every day and who love, I mean absolutely wake up and don't feel dread, don't feel exhausted in the fact that you have no choice but to work, then you are one of the blessed ones who followed your intuition and your guidance and your truth. That's the warrior within you who takes no for an answer. I don't give a shit what you know humanity makes me or wants me to do. I won't do it. I won't listen to my dad who tells me get a job, and whatever job it is, you're thankful for your job. No, Dad, you're wrong. You're wrong, Dad. Look at yourself. Look at how abusive you've been over these 12 years that I've been alive, and my mum's dead now. Look at what you've done to all the family. Why? Because you hated your job with a passion. We know this now. I know this now. And I realised, without even realising, I knew when my dad, when I was 17, saying to me, why are you not at work? And I said, I gave up. What do you mean you gave up? I didn't like it. And I'm not working another moment in that place. The people were horrible. The boss was disgusting. And I just didn't feel anything. I felt almost like a feeling of anxiety being in that place. He looked at me being an army man, being a second lieutenant and escaped to German war camps as if I was a puff, and he used to call me a puff. I ended up being an hairdresser, and that reinforced his belief that I was a puff, and he used to call me a puff. And I used to laugh. Why am I a puff, Dad? Because you're in the mirror all the time doing your hair. Yeah, I am, because I'm learning how to blow dry, I'm learning how to style my hair. You're a puff. I remember one day walking down the stairs of my house, and my first wife, became my first wife. She spent the night with me up in my room in the attic. And I remember in the morning we walked down and he looked at me and he looked at Jackie. I never said anything to Jackie. And he says, "What are you doing?" I says, "Proving to you that I'm not a puff." And then I started laughing. I think he giggled inside a bit himself, to be fair. And then that turned to shit, because then I started ironing Jackie's top. And he came into the room and says, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm ironing." "That's not your top." I said, "I know it's not my top. It's Jackie's top. We're going to work." Bloody hell. What the bloody hell is going on in this world? A man ironing his girlfriend's top. That really freaked him out. Hey, how far have we come in this world now from that generation to this generation, eh? We've come a long way when we think about it. I'm sat here at a place called Four Seasons, and I know I'm going to be judged by many people, but I can't afford to, and it's none of your business anyway, but I can't afford, and I wouldn't afford to spend a night here, because I literally couldn't even imagine spending 2,000 euros a night just to sleep in one of their beds. But there's people out there who are just so used to luxury, so used to money and wealth, that they are nil and void of reality in itself. I was sat here just having, what have I had, a coconut, fresh fruit and a coffee. And I've been here for about 5 hours, 4 hours. And I've got the best view, I've got the best seats. Look at the place, it's beautiful. The people are gorgeous, meaning the work staff are gorgeous. And I always tip them a lot, because it's like, I'm thankful for being here. So they're always very kind to me, because they don't get really tipped by those that are privileged. Privileged mean that they've been brought up with money. And there was a monster sat here no more than 20 minutes ago. And I could feel her attachments, I could feel her, your body actually turns away. So just remember that when you're in the presence of somebody that you need to turn away from, it's normally because your consciousness is repelled by that energy, and knowing that it will try and suck you into that energy, or it will steal your energy and make you feel angry. So you can't have your energy stolen unless you start to feel bad. And you are the master, you're the driver of your emotion and energy. So you can drive your energy above the monster and smile and feel strong and meditate and think of good thoughts and protect yourself in any way you feel the best. You might want to protect yourself with, the light, the love, the purple, the angelic realm, whatever your intention is, your consciousness follows through with that. So I turned myself that way, and the monster, this woman, monster, I could see she was a monster, privileged monster, ordered a salad, and she basically started shouting at the beautiful Balinese ladies and men who were panicking because she didn't have olive oil, and she was screaming basically for her olive oil. And she didn't look at the staff, she looked down and told them what she wanted. When the olive oil came, they rushed and got it. She never said a word and continued eating, stuffing her. I know I sound judgmental, but she was a monster. I was so disgusted by her behaviour, and then I realised she doesn't know any different. She has no clue to what she's doing or saying. Anyway, it didn't stop there, it got worse. She started being abrupt and nasty and forceful, and every time one of the staff, they literally were panicking, they were in panic mode. But when you're an observer, when you're a healer and you can see energy, what happens is, and it's really simple, the woman wasn't complaining about the oil, she wasn't complaining to the staff, she wasn't complaining about a salad. She was making everybody fear so that she could feed, not only with the food that she needs to put in the body, but she needs to feed like a monster would feed like dark crystal. So they need to suck your energy. So the fear of the manageress, the manager came up, 2 working girls were panicking, 1 guy, they're all here, so, you know, they're glad she's gone, for sure they are. We all are. But I could see that the energy that was being, she was sucking energy from 5 people around her as she was demanding. And then I realized it's not about her demanding, it's her basically feeding from beautiful people. She's changing their energy and then she's feeding from them. Fascinating when you see, and I guess only somebody who's worked with energy for 20 years can look and see, wow. And I could clearly see that every single working staff that was near her, one was behind, one was in front, stood there, they were all panicking. I could see from their heart, it was coming from their heart. Basically, the transformation of good into fear from the heart and feeding her. She was just feeding, it was just being fed into the monster. And it was a monster. It wasn't it was human, but inside was a monster. And when she left, now everybody is in abuse. They feel abused, they're all very nervous. But what I did, what little I could do, because you can't heal a monster, you can't send love to a monster. It doesn't work. It just makes them more angry, and it makes them then want to feed more. So what I did was, and it's a really simple trick, okay? And it's not a trick per se, it's something that you can always remember to do. Do you ever remember being in a situation where you're being attacked? Might have been at school, or it might have been when you're a little bit older, and everybody's attacking you, right? These are monsters. And then out of the corner of your eye, you'll see somebody smile and say, it's okay, you're okay, it's fine. I know what you're going through, and it's not you. You're all right, don't worry. And it's just a reassuring energy that's given. And what I did was give that reassuring energy to especially to one girl who looks about 18, 19. I smiled and said, it's okay. I gave her that energy of a smile so that she would change the fear into, okay, I don't need to continue. I needed to break the spell, the monster spell. And we can do that with a smile and with love. And because a smile isn't just a smile can be given in a way of compassion, of understanding, of knowing, I know who you are and what you're feeling and what you're going through. And that's what I did. Sometimes a smile can be a really disgusting thing as well. Some people can smile with vindictive energy. You know what I mean by a smile of reassurance, of love, of I know who you are, I know that you are wonderful. You don't need to question yourself over a monster. You have not done nothing wrong. You are just being fed from a monster, and I give you my love to change that energy. And that's what I did. And it's funny, but I'm noticing this more and more. And the funny thing is, the more you notice it, the more it's given to you. So you have to, like me, you have to make videos and share that with people. And hopefully today, through what I've just talked about, it may seem extreme, it may seem bullshit, no problem with that. But at some point, something might have gone inside you in the sense of burnt into your consciousness, that then there may be a point that you might be in that situation that you can say, you know what, Mark, I remember what you said. This might be in 6 months, it might be a year, it might be tomorrow. Oh my God, I remember what Mark said. And now I'm in that situation. Maybe I can just smile and reassure the person who's been attacked and the monster is feeding off them, that we can change that energy and we can give the strength back to cut that cord. We have to cut that spell so that that beautiful soul doesn't get fed from. And it is true, we are in a world where we get fed from monsters, and we are in a world of monsters. There is no doubt about it. And we are at a point in this world now that monsters are becoming more stronger, more aggressive, more confident, that they can do what they want, and we are recognizing these monsters. They are showing themselves to us. So we have to be prepared, and we have to know how to deal with this. We have to realize that we are not here to be fed by these monsters. We did not come here for that. We came here for other things. But we have to be aware that there are monsters in these spacesuits. We are not all made in the image of God. We are not all created by one creator. The creator would never make monsters, but creators that are monsters will have a drop in the ocean of their ocean of themselves that are monsters. We are a drop in the ocean of our creator, which is of love and kindness and caring and sharing and giving and empathy. There are too many monsters, and you will see them online more and more grow stronger and stronger. And these monsters will club together. That's why I say be careful when you are entering into the cesspit of groupthink. Like attracts like, monsters attract monsters. Just be careful, guys, because you might find yourself in a cesspit of monsters altogether. That is the political monsters that are all fighting and all screaming and all, just feeding off the cesspit energy that they are. It's normal to them. We don't feed from that. We feed from the energy of love and kindness. That's what we feed from. That's how we feed. That energy that I give you today of love by saying, do you know what? I want to send you a massive hug, that you're beautiful, you're amazing, and don't let monsters get you down. Don't let the monsters make you feel bad, because you are amazing. You are far more stronger than a monster. That's why a monster has to abuse you every day, because it knows that it hasn't got the strength to take your energy. So what it does is it manipulates you to believe that you are weak. That's why you will always hear me say, no one has the power over you unless you let them. It is only you that allows the monsters to feed from you, because you believe that they are either right, that they are more important than you, that they are more powerful than you. No one on this planet is more powerful than your energy, and you have to take control of your truth and your wisdom and your knowing, and you have to protect yourself now more than ever in this world that is becoming more satanic by the moment. And they are showing themselves. They are not afraid anymore, because they're starting to realize that there's more than them than us. And that is true. That is absolutely true. There are more monsters in this world than there are beautiful souls that come here. I absolutely believe that. But the thing is, you see, they're making themselves more known. They're more brave now. They're more confident now, because the world has become so severely cut from their consciousness that the good people that were jabbed seem to be in another world now. They seem to be getting upset and angry. Why? Because of what's inside their body, which shouldn't be there. That's why I always say, eat healthy. Don't put crap into your body. Don't be taking alcohol all the time. Don't be taking medicines all the time if you can help it. Try and clean your body. So your clean body gives you clear thoughts, clear purity energy. Your body temple is what should be functioning at a pure energy. So of course the monsters are going to do everything they can to poison the body. That means that then that body is going to be in permanent discomfort. It's always going to be fighting with itself to try and heal itself. Therefore, the energy that you give out will feed the monsters. And it always makes, it absolutely all pinpoints back to the same thing. Hijack the body to cause distress, and it will then feed monsters. And that's how satanic, that's how demonic, that's how attachments, that's how entities, that's how trapped spirit feed. They feed from us that way. So you have to look after your body. You know, this conversation that we're having now, if I'm looking at the beautiful sea and I see the sand all the way on there, this conversation is simply one grain of sand to the whole of the beach. What I know is so very little. But what I do know, I share with you out of my experience, not out of books. But something did crop up that was really fascinating. Somebody on here sent me a message because I made a video about that I believe the world is becoming more zombie-like. And somebody sent me a partial, I think it was like a quote or a chapter from a guy called Steiner. I don't know who he is, know nothing about him, but when I read it, it just absolutely blew me away. And I posted it everywhere, and it was with regards to monsters. And he mentioned this back in the 1920s, saying that we live on a world where monsters feed from us. And it's like, I didn't need reassurance because I know my truth. But when I'm hearing it from somebody else who wrote about it many decades ago, it certainly, for me, I don't need verification. I don't need, well done, you were right. I don't need that in my life. I know my truth. But when somebody else has said it, in a very similar way of I've said it, then there must be something in this. There must be something in this idea of those that live on this planet that have the same bodysuits as us, that literally spend their life feeding from us, that do everything they can in an office to make the energy bad so they can feed from that energy. And you're feeling bad, you're feeling down, you're feeling like, oh my God, I can't, my job, I'm going to lose it. And the boss or the manager or your work colleague is feeding from you. It's not like even bothering them. When they look at you nasty again because they're continually wanting to feed from you. The point is, do they actually know what they're doing? Sometimes I don't think they do. I don't think they even know they're monsters. So it becomes so deep. Did this monster next to me know she was feeding from them? I don't think she had a clue. She's just a monster. And monsters need to feed from people. So she got angry. Instead of smiling and say, would there be any chance of having a little pot of olive oil, please? Yes, certainly, sir. Thank you. So we're feeding from the person who's thankful that we're thankful for sharing, a nice, kind word. Like, excuse me. Yes, sir. Is there any chance of some olive oil? Certainly. Oh, thank you. We feed from that because that's who we are. When a monster gets angry and says, I want a pot of olive oil. No, thank you. No, please. Nothing. That's a monster, because they know that. No, they don't know. They've no idea. And you can say, well, that's privileged behavior. Again, it's all intertwined. It's all intertwined. I know privileged people who are the kindest people in the world, so that isn't an excuse. My point being is, the more I observe, the more I see that the monster energy is becoming more evident every single day wherever I am in the world. And I can spot a feeder, a monster feeder now a mile away than before. Why? Because I'm more understanding of the situation rather than me fighting with this childhood trauma being driven into my brain to tell me that we're all made from one God. God save us from a religion, because that holds us back from truth. Anyway, guys, that's my little chat today. Don't really know what else to say other than I'm so blessed to be here. I'm only now just getting over the jet lag, and I've been here 7 or 8 days. It's taken a long time for me. I've become more sensitive in my body to energy than ever before. I'm feeling that the energy has changed, not only in Bali but everywhere. The energy is heavier and it's more dense, and that feeds the monsters more, and that's why the monsters are stronger. and we seem to be far more weaker in energy than we've ever been, and that's because of the frequencies that are polluting this planet via Elon Musk, which it is nothing to do with him. He's just a front man for the monsters to send down frequencies. So we're in a toxic soup of 5G everywhere, of smart, not so smart cities, smart bulbs, smart everything that is constantly sending frequencies that we're living in a toxic soup. So it's harder for beautiful souls to keep their connection to their consciousness, because everything that they're doing is trying to sever our connection to our consciousness, our home world, so that we do not have intuition to be able to guide us and warn us against bad things and monsters, and so that we're easily manipulated, easily fooled. Because if we're only working from a brain level, then unfortunately that ain't gonna work. The brain is only a tool. A brain should be only used when we cross the road and look left and right. That's it. But we're using our brain for things that our brain knows nothing about. Only when we sit down and meditate through beautiful meditation and that concentration of the connection of the stillness, in that stillness, in that creativity, in that beautiful heart energy, you can connect to your higher self that guides us through this world. So don't go down that road. It's dangerous. Don't go to that house. Don't go to that place. Go this way, go that direction, because you're going to be taken to a place. We're guided by who we are. Our home world is who we are. We are a drop of that ocean that we come from. So when we're guided by predominantly ourselves. The ocean that we come from is who you are. So the guidance is you drop from the ocean, which we call the spirit, that essence of who you are. That needs to be the driving force of these spacesuits. But all I see now is people more jabbed, more sick, more cancers, more aggression in themselves, more angry with themselves, just fighting in their brains, just being angry, not being able to sleep, eating shit, it's literally causing devastation to those that come from my home world. And when your body is severely severed from your consciousness because of all the wrong things that you do, because of out of fear, which they know this, the monsters know this, then we become walking dead, we become zombies, NPCs, sheep, we follow anything because we are no longer guided by our consciousness. Those who are still guided by your consciousness, I send you all my love. Is there any hope for those who are no longer guided? I believe so. I believe the body is an amazing temple that can be fixed and healed. There are many amazing people in this world who are sharing how to heal themselves from poisons, how to keep away from poisons, how to keep away from let's say drugs, whether they're legal drugs or not, or alcohol that pulls you in the direction of the negative, of the dark forces, of the entities that feed from you, of the parasites that live inside. So it's really up to us. Nobody else is coming to save you. There is no saviour other than yourself. And that was and always has been the truth. The saviour is you. You are the ocean of our spirit world, of our creator. You are part of the creator, which means that you've been brought here to be the power, to be everything that you were meant to be before you came here. So shine your light, because you have that whole ocean inside you. You just need to connect to it. And I know it sounds cheesy and corny, but if you ever sit and meditate and feel the power of that connection, you won't feel it so cheesy anymore. You'll realize that you've been freaking pissing about with your life and not really understanding why you came here and how important it is to be driven by your consciousness, by your spirit, by your soul. And that's what we need to get back to. Stop with the nonsense. Stop with the dribble. Stop with the fighting. Stop with the arguing. Stop with the opinion. Stop with the judgment. Stop with all of that. Just get on with your beautiful life and shine your light, and your purpose and your path and your journey will be given, will be shown. And that's it. I'm wishing you a lovely day. If I've upset you, again, I'm very sorry. It's never meant. People are getting very upset these days, and there's people getting angrier and angrier. You can't have an opinion these days. And if you do, there's only two people in the world that will either love your opinion because it's their opinion, or hate your opinion because it's not their opinion. It's not how it should work. We should be open to listening to everything, non-judgment, non-opinionated, just chat, and we see where we go. There's things that I didn't believe in 10 years ago that I believe now. So does that make me right now, or was I right then? Or am I wrong now, and was I right then? Ego is a horrible thing, guys, and it always lurks. And in my humble opinion, I don't want to upset people, but I'm not so sure whether we were born with ego. I really am unsure whether we were born with ego. My feeling is, and the older I get, the more I see, is it has to do with attachments, entity, and bad energies. That's what I think. I think the more I see it, the more I realize you can't blame that on ego. You are unbalanced. You are not well. There's something very wrong inside. There's a lot of trauma inside that needs to either be released or cleared, and so on. But using the word ego as if it's something that comes with our consciousness, I'm sorry, guys. I don't buy the book. I don't buy people keeping regurgitating this information. We didn't come here with ego. We came here with love and compassion, and we feel hurt because we're empaths. There is no ego. Ego, I think, is an external energy that attaches to us. And it's almost like, I wonder what we need to clear out of our body that's making us feel, oh, it's your ego. Maybe it could be an attachment. Maybe something inside us is like upset because it wants us to feel this anger and pain. And oh, for God's sake, don't let go of that. Don't release that. And it's fighting against us in our mind. You know, have you ever felt that before when you're fighting something and somebody says, oh, that's your ego? Like, actually, it doesn't feel like it's part of me. It feels like it's an external energy that shouldn't even be in me. But hey ho, who am I to say anything? Don't argue with the truth. Don't argue with what we know about what ego is. Well, maybe there's a healer here who's worked 20 years on people and seen this, and like, I remember working on a guy called Kevin who they said had a huge ego, and he came to me, he says, I think I've got a massive ego, Mark. And I said, really? He said, yeah, I'm this, I'm that, I'm doing this. And I'm like, oh, okay, let's get the healing done, let's get it out of the way. He had about 7 healing sessions, maybe in, I think, 3 months. And then his wife said he's like a different man. I'm like, why? His ego's gone. He's free of ego. He hugs me. He loves me. He does this. He's like, I mean, I've never seen him. It's like, I don't even know who he is anymore. I'm like, what? Is that a bad thing? Oh, Mark, it's like living with another person. And she's crying her eyes out. Okay, so that ego's just gone, has it? All right then. So the ego that lives within him has been what? Tell me what that ego. Does it not sound more like that there might have been something attached to him that caused this? And now if he hasn't got it, that means it wasn't really his, or it was just something that was there that needed to be cleared in his spacesuit. Was it his consciousness? I don't think it was, because his consciousness is beautiful. Was there an attachment? I think there was. And I think ego is simply another word for demonic, evil, entity, attachment, trap spirit. And that's my message today. Food for thought. Believe it, don't believe it, doesn't matter. But that's my take. And I do wish you a lovely day, guys, from the most beautiful Jimbaran. I'm having a healing session tomorrow with a local healer. I'm looking forward to it. I really am looking forward to it. He's been in the work for, I think, 40 years. So he's 15 minutes away from Jimbaran. And everybody says he's an amazing healer. So I'll let you know how that goes. Wishing you a lovely day. He's an energy healer, by the way. So I think it's a combination of Hindu, the Balinese Hindu priests who do healing work. Some of them that they recognize that they had a healing gift. They encourage them to become healers. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'll let you know what it feels like. And I'm wishing you a lovely day from the bottom of my heart. Make the change, and remember, no one has the power over you unless you let them. Bye for now. Bye. Oh, hang on a minute. Much better. I'll let you feel the energy of the sea and shut up. Alright guys, have a lovely day, take care, love you all, send you all my love, bye bye.